Valis Dreadmere, YouTuber, homeowner of monsters, maker of hybrids, and declaring the hybrid tournament. Today, I challenge Valis Dreadmere tournament with a super herbivore. In my previous video, where I challenge a madly Mesozoic giant elephants hybrid against super hybrid predator Gigantus Panthera, body of an African lion, giant size of orca, powerful jumping legs, iron-absorbing venom, today, hybrid is not mammalian, but dinosaur, since madly Mesozoic already did it. So here's my super herbivore hybrid dinosaur. Part 1, Triceratops. The Triceratops stands as one of the most iconic herbivores in Earth's history, a creature whose very anatomy reflects a lifetime spent in a world of predators and giants. Living during the late Cretaceous, it roamed ancient floodplains in massive herds, shaping the landscape as it fed on palms, cycads, and low-growing vegetation. Its body was a masterpiece of defensive engineering, a massive skull that could reach nearly a third of its total body length, a beak designed to shear through tough plant matter, and a muscular frame capable of delivering explosive bursts of power. Despite being a herbivore, it was anything but passive. Fossil evidence shows that Triceratops frequently engaged in combat, both with predators like Tyrannosaurus and with rivals of its own species. Healed punctures, horn scars, and fractures reveal a life of constant challenge and survival. Its frill, once thought to be purely defensive, also played a role in communication, intimidation, and species recognition. The Triceratops was not simply a plant eater, it was a living shield, a creature built to endure, resist, and overcome. As the base genome of the super herbivore, it provides the foundation of strength, stability, and raw defensive power upon which all other traits will be layered. The three horns of the Triceratops are among the most recognizable weapons in the prehistoric world, each one shaped by millions of years of evolutionary pressure. The two long brow horns, positioned above the eyes, were formidable spears of solid bone capable of delivering lethal thrusts. These horns were not merely ornamental, they were tools of survival. Fossils show deep gouges and punctures in the skulls of rival Triceratops, evidence of intense head-to-head combat during dominance battles. The brow horns could reach lengths of over 3 feet, giving the animal the reach and leverage needed to challenge even the largest predators. The smaller nasal horn, made of keratin rather than bone, added a secondary point of impact, useful for quick jabs or defensive maneuvers. Together, the three horns formed a tri-pointed arsenal that made the Triceratops one of the most dangerous herbivores ever to exist. When lowered in a charge, these horns could pierce muscle, break bone, and deter even the mighty Tyrannosaurus. In the super herbivore hybrid, these horns become the first line of offense and defense, a natural spear system that complements the creature's armored body and strategic intelligence. They symbolize not just power, but resilience, courage, and the will to stand against overwhelming odds. Part 2, Ankylosaurus. Ankylosaurus stands as one of the most heavily armored animals to ever walk the earth, a creature whose entire existence was shaped by the need to survive in a world ruled by apex predators. Living at the very end of the Cretaceous period, it shared its environment with giants like Tyrannosaurus rex, yet it did not rely on speed or agility to stay alive. Instead, Ankylosaurus evolved into a living fortress. Its body was low to the ground, wide and powerfully built, supported by thick limbs capable of carrying immense weight. Its skull was compact and reinforced, with nostrils and sinuses arranged in a complex pattern that may have helped regulate temperature or enhance its sense of smell. But what truly defined Ankylosaurus was not its diet or its size, it was its armor, a biological masterpiece that turned this herbivore into one of the most formidable defensive animals in prehistory. As part of the super herbivore hybrid, Ankylosaurus contributes the foundation of its legendary protection, forming the first major layer of the creature's impenetrable defense. The armor of Ankylosaurus is one of nature's greatest achievements, a system of protection so advanced that even the deadliest predators struggled to penetrate it. Covering its back, sides, and even parts of its limbs were massive osteoderms, bony plates embedded directly into the skin. These plates varied in size and shape, forming a mosaic of interlocking shields that acted like natural body armor. Beneath the outer layer of keratin, each osteoderm was dense and thick, capable of absorbing tremendous impact. But the armor did more than simply protect. It transformed Ankylosaurus into a creature predators had to think twice about attacking. And then there was the tail club, a heavy fused mass of bone at the end of a muscular tail. This weapon could deliver blows strong enough to break bones, including the legs of large theropods. Combined with its armor, the tail club made Ankylosaurus a defensive powerhouse, able to stand its ground against threats that would overwhelm most herbivores. In the super herbivore hybrid, this armor becomes the first of 5 layered defenses, forming the core of an unbreakable shield that no opponent can easily breach. Part 3. Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus is one of the most instantly recognizable dinosaurs in the fossil record, a creature whose silhouette alone tells a story of ancient landscapes and evolutionary ingenuity. Living during the late Jurassic period, it roamed the floodplains of North America in an age dominated by massive predators and towering sauropods. Its body was low and broad, supported by stout limbs that carried its weight with surprising stability. But what truly set Stegosaurus apart were the 2 rows of large, kite-shaped plates rising from its back. These plates, once thought to be purely defensive, are now believed to have played roles in thermoregulation, species recognition, and display. They may have flushed with blood, shifting color to communicate dominance or warn predators. Yet for all its peaceful habits, Stegosaurus was far from defenseless. Beneath its calm exterior lay a creature capable of explosive, devastating retaliation. Its tail, muscular and flexible, carried one of the most iconic weapons in prehistory, the thagomizer. As part of the super herbivore hybrid, Stegosaurus contributes not only its distinctive appearance, but also one of the deadliest natural weapons ever evolved by an herbivore. The thagomizer tail of Stegosaurus is a masterpiece of natural weaponry, a structure so effective that even apex predators approached with caution. Composed of 4 long, sharply pointed spikes, the thagomizer was anchored to a tail built for power and precision. Unlike many herbivores whose scales served primarily for balance, Stegosaurus wielded its tail like a living mace. Muscles along the hips and spine allowed it to swing with tremendous force, generating enough momentum to drive the spikes deep into flesh and bone. Fossil evidence supports the lethality of this weapon. A well-known Allosaurus vertebra bears a puncture wound that perfectly matches the size and shape of a Stegosaurus spike, a silent testament to a battle that ended with the predator retreating in pain. It transforms the hybrid's rear flank into a zone of lethal consequence, ensuring that no enemy can approach without risking catastrophic injury. Part 4. Boreolopelta. Boreolopelta is one of the most extraordinary armored dinosaurs ever discovered, not only because of its biology, but because of the remarkable condition in which it was preserved. Living during the early Cretaceous period, this notosaurid roamed ancient forests and floodplains of what is now North America. Unlike its larger cousin Ankylosaurus, Boreolopelta lacked a tail club, but it compensated with an armor system that was both lighter and more intricately arranged. Its body was low and wide, built for stability, with powerful limbs that supported its heavily protected frame. What makes Borealopelta truly special is the insight it provides into the appearance of armored dinosaurs. Its fossilized remains include skin impressions, keratin sheaths, and even preserved pigments. These pigments suggest that Borealopelta may have been reddish-brown with countershading, a darker top and lighter underside, a camouflage pattern used by many modern animals to avoid predators. This detail reveals a surprising truth. Even with its formidable armor, Borealopelta still needed to hide. It lived in a world where massive carnivores stalked the landscape, and survival required both physical defense and strategic coloration. As part of the super herbivore hybrid, Borealopelta contributes not only its armor, but also its evolutionary philosophy: protection layered with subtlety, strength combined with survival instinct. The armor of Borealopelta is a masterpiece of natural engineering, a second defensive layer that enhances and reinforces the protection already provided by Ankylosaurus. Its body was covered in a dense network of osteoderms, bony plates embedded in the skin, arranged in rows along the neck, back, and tail. The most impressive of these were the massive shoulder spikes, which projected outward like natural lances. These spikes were not merely decorative, they were weapons, capable of inflicting serious injury on any predator that attempted a flank attack. Beneath the outer keratin layer, each osteoderm was thick, dense, and capable of absorbing tremendous force. The most impressive of these were the massive shoulder spikes, which projected outward like natural lances. These spikes were not merely decorative, they were weapons, capable of inflicting serious injury on any predator that attempted a flank attack. Beneath the outer keratin layer, each osteoderm was thick, dense, and capable of absorbing tremendous force. Combined with the animal's muscular build, this armor transformed Borealopelta into a walking fortress. In the super herbivore hybrid, Borealopelta's armor becomes the second layer of defense, a reinforcement that strengthens the creature's resilience and ensures that even the most determined attackers struggle to find a weakness. It is the embodiment of layered protection, a shield upon a shield. Part 5. African Dwarf Crocodile. The African dwarf crocodile is one of the smallest crocodilian species on Earth, yet it stands among the most heavily armored. Living in the dense, humid rainforests and slow-moving streams of West and Central Africa, this compact reptile thrives in environments where stealth and protection are essential for survival. Despite its modest size, typically under 2 meters in length, it possesses a surprising level of strength and resilience. Its behavior is largely nocturnal. During the day, it hides in burrows or dense vegetation, emerging at night to hunt fish, crustaceans, amphibians, and small invertebrates. This lifestyle has shaped it into a creature of patience and precision, moving silently through dark waters with minimal disturbance. Unlike larger crocodiles that rely on brute force and ambush tactics, the dwarf crocodile depends on endurance, adaptability, and its nearly impenetrable hide. Its compact body allows it to navigate tight spaces, evade larger predators, and survive in habitats where other crocodilians would struggle. Fossil comparisons and modern studies reveal that its osteoderms, bony plates embedded in the skin, are among the densest of any crocodile species. This makes the African dwarf crocodile a living tank in miniature form. In the super herbivore hybrid, it contributes not only its toughness, but also the evolutionary wisdom of surviving through armor, patience, and strategic movement. The armor of the African dwarf crocodile is a marvel of compact defensive design, forming the third major layer of protection in the super herbivore hybrid. Unlike many crocodilian species whose armor varies in density across the body, the dwarf crocodile possesses thick, heavily mineralized osteoderms that cover nearly every inch of its back, sides, and tail. These bony plates are arranged in tight, overlapping rows, creating a shield that is both flexible and incredibly durable. The armor of the African dwarf crocodile is a marvel of compact defensive design, forming the third major layer of protection in the super herbivore hybrid. Unlike many crocodilian species whose armor varies in density across the body, the dwarf crocodile possesses thick, heavily mineralized osteoderms that cover nearly every inch of its back, sides, and tail. These bony plates are arranged in tight, overlapping rows, creating a shield that is both flexible and incredibly durable. Each osteoderm is reinforced with a dense core of bone surrounded by a tough keratin layer, giving it the ability to absorb and deflect powerful impacts. This armor is so effective that even large predators in its natural habitat often avoid attacking it, knowing that their bites may fail to penetrate. The dwarf crocodile's compact size enhances this protection. With less surface area to target and a lower profile, it becomes a difficult opponent to it. Its armor also plays a role in thermoregulation and buoyancy, helping it maintain stability in water and resist environmental stress. In the context of the super herbivore hybrid, this armor becomes the third layer in a 5-tiered defensive system. It adds density, hardness, and full-body coverage, reinforcing the creature's resilience and ensuring that even concentrated attacks struggled to find a weak point. This contribution transforms the hybrid into a fortress not just of size, but of layered, overlapping protection. Part 6. Thorny devil lizard. The thorny devil lizard, native to the arid deserts of Australia, is one of nature's most extraordinary examples of survival through specialization. Despite its small size and gentle temperament, this reptile thrives in one of the harshest environments on Earth, where scorching heat, scarce water, and relentless predators shape every aspect of life. The thorny devil moves slowly and deliberately across the sand, its body covered in a maze of spikes that cast jagged shadows beneath the desert sun. Its coloration, an intricate blend of browns, yellows, and reds, allows it to blend seamlessly into the landscape, making it nearly invisible to both predators and prey. But camouflage is only one part of its survival strategy. The thorny devil possesses a unique ability to collect water through capillary action. Moisture from dew, rain, or even damp sand travels along microscopic grooves in its skin, channeling directly to its mouth. This adaptation allows it to survive in regions where water is a rare and precious resource. Its diet consists almost entirely of ants, and it may consume thousands in a single day, using its sticky tongue to capture them with precision. Though small, the thorny devil is a master of endurance, deception, and defense. In the super herbivore hybrid, it contributes not only its resilience, but also its iconic spiked silhouette, a natural warning to any creature foolish enough to attack. The thorny devil's skin is a masterpiece of defensive evolution, forming the fourth major layer of armor in the super herbivore hybrid. Its entire body is covered in sharp, conical spikes that serve multiple purposes, each one shaped to deter predators and enhance survival. These spikes are not merely superficial decorations. They are hardened structures made of keratin, anchored firmly into the lizard's. When threatened, the thorny devil presents its body sideways, maximizing the display of its spines and making itself appear larger and more dangerous. Predators attempting to bite or grasp it are met with a mouthful of painful, rigid thorns that discourage further attack. Even the lizard's false head, a spiky knob on the back of its neck, acts as a decoy, allowing it to tuck its real head down and present the false one to predators, reducing the risk of fatal injury. The arrangement of the spikes also plays a role in water collection, guiding moisture along the skin's channels toward the mouth. In the context of the super herbivore hybrid, these spikes become a crucial defensive layer, adding a forest of sharp, unforgiving points that make the creature nearly impossible to bite, grapple, or restrain. This armor layer transforms the hybrid's exterior into a living barricade of pain, ensuring that any predator or rival that attempts close-quarters combat will suffer immediate and severe consequences. It is the embodiment of deterrence, an armor system designed not just to protect, but to punish. Part 7. Alligator Snapping Turtle. The alligator snapping turtle is one of the most formidable freshwater predators in North America, a creature whose ancient lineage stretches back millions of years. Often described as a living dinosaur, it inhabits slow-moving rivers, swamps, and murky bayous where patience and stealth are the keys to survival. Unlike many turtles that rely on speed or retreat, the alligator snapping turtle is an ambush specialist. It settles into the mud or rests motionless on the riverbed, blending seamlessly with submerged logs and debris thanks to its rugged, moss-covered shell. Its jawline is jagged, its eyes deep-set, and its overall appearance evokes a creature sculpted by time and pressure. One of its most remarkable adaptations is the vermiform lure, a small worm-like appendage on its tongue that it wiggles to attract curious fish. When prey approaches, the turtle strikes with explosive speed, snapping its jaws shut with a force that can crush bone. Despite its intimidating presence, the alligator snapping turtle is a calm and deliberate animal, conserving energy and relying on its environment to mask its movements. Its survival strategy is built on patience, power, and near impenetrable defense. In the super herbivore hybrid, this ancient reptile contributes both its crushing bite and its legendary armor, forming the fifth and final layer of the creature's defensive system. The bite force of the alligator snapping turtle is one of its most iconic and feared attributes, a weapon evolved for precision and devastating impact. While its bite force is often exaggerated in popular media, scientific measurements still place it among the strongest of any reptile relative to size. What makes the bite so dangerous is not just raw pressure, but the mechanics behind it. The turtle's skull is heavily reinforced, with powerful jaw muscles anchored to bony ridges that act like natural levers. When it snaps its jaws shut, the motion is swift, decisive, and incredibly efficient. The beak-like jaws are edged with sharp keratin, allowing them to shear through flesh, crush crustaceans, and break apart tough shells with ease. The strike itself is lightning fast, far quicker than most prey can react to, making escape nearly impossible once the turtle commits to the attack. In the wild, this bite is used not only for hunting, but also for defense, deterring predators and rivals with a single demonstration of its crushing power. In the super herbivore hybrid, this bite force becomes a critical offensive tool, complementing the creature's horns, tail weapons, and armored bulk. It adds a close-quarters weapon capable of breaking through enemy defenses, delivering decisive damage, and asserting dominance in any confrontation. The armor of the alligator snapping turtle is a marvel of natural fortification, forming the fifth and final layer of defense in the super herbivore hybrid. Its shell is composed of thick, fused bone, covered by a rugged keratin layer, creating a barrier capable of withstanding tremendous force. These ridges not only provide structural strength, but also enhance camouflage, breaking up the turtle's outline in murky water. Beneath the shell, the turtle's body is further protected by dense musculature and reinforced skeletal structures that absorb and distribute impact. Even its head and neck are shielded by tough, overlapping scales that act like natural armor plating. This comprehensive protection allows the turtle to remain nearly invulnerable to most predators in its environment. In the super herbivore hybrid, this armor becomes the ultimate defensive layer, an unyielding shell that completes the creature's five-tiered protection system. It transforms the hybrid into a living fortress, capable of withstanding blows, bites, strikes and impacts that would cripple lesser beings. With this final layer, the hybrid achieves near total defense, embodying the pinnacle of armored evolution. Part 8. Rhinoceros. The rhinoceros is one of the most powerful herbivores alive today, a creature defined by immense strength, thick skin, and a presence that commands respect across the African and Asian landscapes. Despite their size, rhinos are surprisingly agile, capable of charging at impressive speeds when threatened. Their bodies are supported by pillar-like legs and dense musculature, giving them the stability needed to confront predators or rivals head-on. Rhinos are generally peaceful grazers, feeding on grasses, shrubs, and leaves, but their temperament shifts instantly when danger approaches. Their thick, folded skin acts like natural armor, protecting them from bites, scratches, and environmental hazards. With keen hearing and a strong sense of smell, they navigate their environment with awareness and caution. As part of the super herbivore hybrid, the rhinoceros contributes not only its raw physical power, but also its iconic weapon, an evolutionary masterpiece that has defined the species for millions of years. The rhinoceros's horn is one of the most distinctive natural weapons in the animal kingdom, a single elongated structure made entirely of keratin, the same material found in hair and nails. Unlike the horns of many mammals, the rhino's horn is not attached to bone. Instead, it grows from tightly packed fibers that fuse into a dense, incredibly strong mass. This horn serves multiple purposes. It is used in dominance battles, territorial disputes, and defense against predators. When a rhino charges, the horn becomes the tip of a living spear, capable of inflicting deep wounds and deterring even the boldest attackers. Its shape varies among species, but its function remains the same: power, intimidation, and survival. In the super herbivore hybrid, this horn becomes a primary offensive weapon, complementing the Triceratops' three-horned arsenal and adding a forward-facing strike designed for piercing armor, breaking defenses, and asserting dominance in any confrontation. Part 9. Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus was one of the towering giants of the late Jurassic, a sauropod whose sheer size reshaped the forests it lived in. Unlike many long-necked dinosaurs, Brachiosaurus carried its neck high like a giraffe, allowing it to browse from treetops unreachable to other herbivores. Its front legs were longer than its hind legs, giving it a distinctive, elevated posture that made it one of the most recognizable dinosaurs in prehistory. Despite its massive size, Brachiosaurus moved with surprising grace, supported by a powerful skeletal structure and immense muscles. Its enormous body required an efficient respiratory system to sustain its energy demands, especially when lifting its long neck to feed. This gentle giant lived in herds, shaping ecosystems as it migrated across ancient floodplains. In the super herbivore hybrid, Brachiosaurus contributes not its size, but its extraordinary internal adaptations, lungs and air sacs built for endurance, power, and life at a colossal scale. The lungs of Brachiosaurus were among the most advanced respiratory structures in the animal kingdom, designed to support a creature that weighed as much as several elephants combined. These lungs were massive, capable of holding enormous volumes of air with each breath. Their structure allowed for efficient oxygen exchange, ensuring that the dinosaur's muscles and organs received a constant supply of oxygen, even during long periods of movement or feeding. This efficiency was essential for supporting its towering neck, which required steady airflow to maintain blood pressure and energy levels. The large lungs also worked in tandem with an extensive system of air sacs, reducing the weight of the skeleton and improving breathing efficiency. In the super herbivore hybrid, these lungs provide unmatched stamina, allowing the creature to fight, move, and endure far longer than any ordinary animal. Brachiosaurus possessed a complex network of air sacs connected to its lungs, forming a lightweight, highly efficient breathing system. These air sacs extended into the neck, torso, and even parts of the skeleton, reducing reducing overall weight while increasing oxygen flow. This adaptation allowed the dinosaur to breathe continuously and maintain energy during long periods of activity. In the super herbivore hybrid, these air sacs enhance endurance, stability, and respiratory power, giving the creature unmatched staying power in battle. Part 10. Elephant. Elephants are among the most remarkable animals on Earth, known not only for their immense size, but for their deep emotional lives, complex social structures, and extraordinary memory. Living in tight-knit herds led by experienced matriarchs, they navigate vast landscapes with a sense of purpose and cooperation. Their communication ranges from low-frequency rumbles that travel miles to subtle gestures and touches that convey reassurance, warning, or affection. Elephants display empathy, mourning their dead, comforting distressed companions, and even assisting injured animals. Their problem-solving abilities allow them to use tools, manipulate objects with precision, and adapt to new challenges in their environment. This blend of strength, awareness, and emotional depth makes the elephant one of the most intelligent herbivores on the planet. In the super herbivore hybrid, the elephant contributes the first layer of advanced cognition, forming the foundation of strategic thinking and battlefield awareness. Elephant intelligence is defined by memory, emotional understanding, and problem-solving ability. They recognize individuals, recall distant water sources, and learn from past experiences. Their social intelligence allows them to coordinate movements, protect calves, and respond to threats with strategy rather than instinct alone. This cognitive power becomes a key component of the hybrid's advanced decision-making. Elephants possess the largest brain of any land animal, weighing around 4.5 to 5 kilograms. Their cerebral cortex is highly developed, supporting complex behaviors, long-term memory, and emotional processing. This massive brain provides the hybrid with a powerful neurological foundation for intelligence and awareness. Elephants have an extraordinary number of neurons, over 250 billion in total, with many located in the cerebellum. While humans dominate in cortical neurons, elephants excel in sheer neuron quantity, supporting advanced sensory processing, coordination, and learning. This immense neural network enhances the hybrid's cognitive depth and adaptability. Part 11. Gorilla. Powerful yet gentle creatures that inhabit the dense forests of Central Africa. Despite their imposing size, they are peaceful herbivores, spending their days foraging for leaves, stems, and fruit while living in tightly bonded family groups. Their social structure is led by a dominant silverback, whose role extends beyond protection to include guidance, conflict resolution, and emotional support. Gorillas communicate through a rich combination of vocalizations, gestures, facial expressions, and body language, revealing a depth of social awareness and emotional intelligence. They display curiosity, empathy, and problem-solving abilities, often using tools or manipulating objects with surprising finesse. Their calm demeanor masks a mind capable of learning, adapting, and understanding complex relationships within their group. In the super herbivore hybrid, the gorilla contributes the second layer of advanced cognition, enhancing strategic thinking, coordination, and situational awareness. Gorilla intelligence is marked by strong memory, emotional depth, and the ability to learn through observation. They understand social dynamics, recognize individuals, and solve problems using logic rather than instinct alone. Their tool use and communication skills demonstrate a mind capable of planning and adapting. This cognitive strength becomes a crucial upgrade to the hybrid's strategic ability. Gorillas possess large and complex brains, averaging around 500 cubic centimeters, significantly larger than most mammals. Their brain structure supports advanced motor control, social behavior, and learning capacity. This substantial brain size provides the hybrid with enhanced reasoning and coordination. Gorillas have an estimated 33 billion cortical neurons, giving them impressive cognitive processing power. These neurons support memory, decision-making, and social understanding. When added to the hybrid, this neural density strengthens its intelligence, awareness, and ability to analyze threats with precision. Part 12, Orangutan. Orangutans are among the most intelligent and resourceful primates on Earth, living high in the dense rainforests of Borneo and Sumatra. Their long arms and powerful hands allow them to move gracefully through the canopy, where they spend most of their lives feeding on fruit, leaves, bark, and insects. Unlike many primates that live in large groups, orangutans are more solitary, relying heavily on their own problem-solving abilities to navigate the challenges of the forest. This independence has shaped them into thinkers, animals capable of planning, adapting, and manipulating their environment with remarkable creativity. They build complex nests each night, craft tools to extract food, and display a deep understanding of cause and effect. Their calm, observant nature hides a mind constantly analyzing the world around them. In the super herbivore hybrid, the orangutan contributes the third and most advanced layer of intelligence, elevating the creature's cognitive abilities to extraordinary levels. Orangutans have an estimated 28 billion cortical neurons, giving them impressive cognitive processing power. These neurons support learning, memory, and creative problem-solving. When integrated into the hybrid, this neural density amplifies intelligence, adaptability, and strategic depth to its highest level. Part 13, Introduction. Rare, scientific name, Quadceratops, Optimum armatus, Ingenius Gigas. Common dictionary name, four-horned faced. Other, super armor, smart giant lizard. Height, 22 feet or 6.7 meters at the shoulder. Length, 48 feet or 14.6 meters from horn to tail tip. Weight, 38 tons or 34,473 kilograms. The super herbivore hybrid is a towering colossus of evolutionary engineering, a creature forged from the strongest defensive and cognitive traits in Earth's history. Standing 22 feet tall at the shoulder and stretching 48 feet from horn to tail, its silhouette is both majestic and terrifying. The base structure is built upon the muscular frame of a triceratops, giving it a broad chest, powerful limbs, and a stable center of gravity. Its head is adorned with 4 horns, 3 from the triceratops and 1 massive forward-facing rhino horn, forming a natural spear array capable of piercing armor and bone. The tail ends in a Stegosaurus thagomizer, a spiked weapon capable of delivering bone-shattering blows with whip-like precision. Its lungs and air sacs, inherited from Brachiosaurus, give it unmatched stamina and breath control, allowing it to sustain high-intensity movement and combat for extended periods. The creature's eyes are deep-set and intelligent, reflecting the awareness of elephants, gorillas, and orangutans. Its gait is deliberate, its posture regal, and its presence overwhelming. Every movement is calculated, every stance a hybrid's body is layered with 5 tiers of armor, each one drawn from a different species and serving a unique defensive function. From the broad osteoderms of Ankylosaurus to the spiked skin of the thorny devil lizard, its surface is a fortress of pain and protection. This is not merely an animal, it is a living stronghold, a biomechanical titan designed to endure, retaliate, and dominate. Despite its immense size and destructive potential, the super herbivore hybrid is not a creature of chaos, it is a strategist. Its behavior is shaped by the emotional intelligence of elephants, the social awareness of gorillas, and the creative problem-solving of orangutans. It is calm, observant, and highly territorial, preferring to avoid conflict unless provoked. When threatened, it does not charge blindly. It analyzes its opponent, adapts its tactics, and chooses the most effective weapon for the situation. In peaceful environments, it displays herd-like coordination, moving with others in synchronized patterns that suggest communication and shared strategy. It can recognize allies, remember past encounters, and even anticipate ambushes based on environmental cues. Its emotional depth allows it to mourn fallen companions, protect the vulnerable, and respond to distress with empathy. But when battle is inevitable, the hybrid becomes a force of nature, methodical, relentless, and brutally efficient. The jaws of the super herbivore hybrid are powered by the crushing anatomy of the alligator snapping turtle, a predator known for its explosive bite and bone-breaking force. With a bite force estimated at 4,200 psi, the hybrid's mouth is not just a feeding tool, it is a weapon of last resort. The skull is reinforced with thick bone ridges and anchored jaw muscles that act like biological pistons, driving the beak-like jaws shut with terrifying speed and precision. The edges of the jaws are lined with keratinous blades, capable of slicing through flesh, armor, and even metal restraints. The hybrid can clamp down on an enemy's limb, weapon, or armor plate and crush it in seconds. Its bite is fast enough to catch agile attackers off guard, and strong enough to disable even heavily armored opponents. In combat, it uses this weapon sparingly, only when the situation demands a decisive close-quarters strike. But when deployed, the bite becomes a turning point in battle. Fossil evidence from the turtle's ancestors shows that their jaws could penetrate bone and shell with ease. In the hybrid, this power is amplified by scale and musculature, making the bite one of the most feared tools in its arsenal. Whether snapping through a predator's skull or disabling a mechanical threat, the hybrid's jaws deliver finality. It is not just a defensive creature, it is a predator's worst nightmare. The super herbivore hybrid possesses an estimated IQ equivalent of 180 to 220, placing it well above most terrestrial animals and rivaling early hominids in cognitive complexity. This intelligence is not limited to memory or instinct. It includes strategic reasoning, emotional depth, and predictive analysis. The hybrid can assess terrain, anticipate enemy movement, and adapt its tactics mid-battle. Its brain is a fusion of elephant mass, gorilla structure, and orangutan folding, resulting in a neural network of over 311 billion neurons. It can recognize patterns, solve problems, and even manipulate its environment using tools or terrain advantages. In simulated tests, the hybrid demonstrates long-term planning, social coordination, and threat prioritization. It is not merely reactive, it is proactive, capable of setting traps, feinting attacks, and exploiting weaknesses. This intelligence makes the hybrid more than a beast. It makes it a commander. It can lead, defend, and outthink opponents who rely solely on brute force. In the arena, its mind is as dangerous as its body. The armor of the super herbivore hybrid is its most iconic feature, a 5-layered defense system drawn from nature's toughest survivors. Each layer contributes a unique property, forming a composite shell that rivals engineered military armor in resilience and complexity. The first layer is Ankylosaurus. Broad osteoderms and keratin sheaths form the base shield, absorbing blunt force and distributing impact across the torso. The second layer is Borealopelta. Dense interlocking plates with preserved pigmentation and keratin overlays add thickness and camouflage, resisting high-energy strikes. The third layer is African dwarf crocodile. Compact, mineralized osteoderms provide localized hardness and puncture resistance, especially around joints and flanks. The fourth layer, thorny devil lizard. Sharp conical spikes deter grappling and biting, turning the hybrid surface into a forest of pain. The fifth layer, alligator snapping turtle. Fused shell ridges and sutured scutes create a final barrier capable of absorbing kinetic energy and deflecting concentrated attack. Together, these layers produce a surface hardness estimated at 2.5 to 3.5 gigapascals, with impact absorption in the 40 to 60 plus kJ range. The armor covers approximately 98% of the body, leaving minimal soft tissue exposed. It can resist low-caliber bullets, deflect claws and teeth, and withstand repeated blows from rival hybrids. This armor is not just passive, it is active deterrence. Every inch of the hybrid's body is designed to punish attackers, absorb damage, and maintain combat integrity under extreme conditions. It is the ultimate expression of biological defense, a fortress in motion.